you can't get better than what we're seeing at the moment. I think it's going to be really hard to start topping this.
Yeah. Eventually there will be a peak, I'm sure, where you can't get any better. Surely.
Yeah.
Surely. I mean, but that's what we were saying things like that last year, weren't we?
Yeah.
And the year before.
Yeah.
And the year before that. So goodness knows what's going to happen.
Like I say, the last
what's gonna
3
happen?
years. I mean, 3 years ago when I started on YouTube, not many people were using the 3D built-in stuff, and people were just not to sound rude, but not really pushing it, if that makes sense. It all still felt like a fan film or fan series, but now they've all got cinematic quality and big arcs. They were very much before 2005, especially many fan films just felt like reproductions of the classic series. Although we like the classic fan films, they all felt like it's a serial, it's 4 parts, they go on, and now you just never know what you're going to see, and that is...
Yeah, the new series has certainly had a very positive effect on fan films, because the standard on the professional series as well has risen beyond anything that we could have expected 5 years ago.
Definitely, yes. It's like I say, it's an exciting time to be in WhoTube. So.
Yes. So, right, we'll move on finally to the final topic, and that is the 5 top tips on starting your WhoTube journey.
Yes. Okay, so tip number...
Do you want to take turns?
Yeah, let's do that. I would say tip number 1 is just sit back and watch the other fan films. Watch as many as you can that don't, and
as well as actual just any type of film as well. You can pick up on various camera techniques
definitely
that are vital and is easy to get inspired.
Especially if you're planning to go on, like if you're in year 9 or something and about to go into 6th form or into A-level and do your media studies, you can pick up and learn all this stuff beforehand, and that way it also helps in your school career and that. But
so don't rush into it.
Definitely take time. Like me, for example, I was on YouTube for almost a year before I decided I'm going to make a fan film. Although I actually come to think of it, my first films on YouTube were play animated fan films. But it's take a look, see what's being made, and see if you can top it or do it in a different medium. Because things like now you've got cartoons of Doctor Who fan films. They went around a few years ago, and you've got obviously HD has had a huge effect. So point number 2.
Point number 2 I've got is don't look at it as trying to top something else. Look at it as I think you should only, and we've mentioned this before, you should only really make a fan film if you've got a story to tell.
Exactly. Don't. And like I was going to say earlier, if you're sitting here listening to this and going, "Oh, that's all right, I've got my own story," stop. You've really got to stop and go, do I really? Take it to people you trust to look after the story and keep the secrets, and read it, and also get ask them to really, for lack of...
Well, that's the third point, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the third point. You really need to ask your friends, show them the scripts that you've made, ask for advice from them.
Yeah, and just ask them to be honest. Ask them,
Yeah, and accept constructive criticism.
Definitely.
And
I mean, John Hutch, me and you, Billy, we've been privileged enough to see his first episode script.
Yeah, I know, it's dead exciting.
And
it's really
and
good.
he said to us, I know he said to me in an email, I want to be able to taste the red pen a week after. And so, but you're reading the series, you're reading the first episode, and it's very hard to find faults in there, because he spent 17 years thinking this up. But which I think, 17 years, you're probably doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to top that, really, unless you're Stephen Moffat. But he's got the biggest fan film of them all. He's got the real series to play with, and so that's really one thing is, get people to give you constructive criticism and accept it. Don't go and have a whine about it. I'll sometimes have a moment to myself and go, I like that little scene, but then you realise it's for the greater good of the series. The Doctor going around killing people isn't acceptable in fan films, so you don't do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of the approach.
So, what would you say is your fourth point?
My fourth point
I'll leave that to you.
is, now you've got your story and that set up, get people who will have fun with you, who will be able to bring some sort of acting ability. They don't have to be like Jamie Carroll, Billy Treacy and actors, but they, people who can perform, be believable, and not make you...
And not just that, get people you get on with. You want to
Definitely.
have fun in this process. It's very important that you have fun in making this fan film, and that's probably one of the most important parts of it, really.
It is. You've got to just take the writing of it seriously, take the plot of it seriously, but when you're on set and you're filming and you've got like a while before it comes out, don't be too relaxed. You want to still be able to say at the end of the day, oh, we've filmed so-and-so scenes, but you want to have fun and just go out and have a laugh every time you screw up a line. Don't go, ugh, new take, start again. You go, and you laugh and it becomes a kind of social experience as well as creating.
Yes, and I know for a fact that I have made a lot of new friends from making fan films.
Definitely. Me and you, for example, Billy.
You for one. Yeah, there you go. We're like as thick as thieves.
Yeah.
I was thinking I'm going to replace John as my new best friend instead of Jamie, because Jamie's not been answering my calls. So. Just kidding, Jamie. No, don't cry. Don't cry.
Dear.
Anyways, we move on to the fifth and final point. I've got a point.
Okay.
John, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Your first episode. Don't use the Daleks.
Don't use any series monster. You create a monster.
Yeah. It should really be your piece of work. I mean, sure, if you're doing a series, at some point you may use an old monster if you feel it necessary to the story, and if you feel this is something that's been building up for quite some time. But in general, you should not be using old monsters, especially for your first episode.
Yeah,
you want to be focusing more on the main characters and setting the scene for them, rather than getting back a big old monster.
Yeah, it's a death trap to many fan films, is bringing back a classic monster. The only fan film I can think of that sprung back a classic monster in its first episode is Fire and Ice, 2009.
And that was lucky.
Yeah,
really,
because it just all fits together, and you feel it, and it kind of slides through, and you don't feel like, oh, the Ice Warriors. I mean, they were only done last year. That's another thing. They haven't been done since the 70s, but it worked for the story. The story and the Ice Warriors fit hand in hand, and you're fine.
Yeah. Anyways, we are running out of time now, John, so I'm afraid we're going to have to stop there.
Okay then, so, thank you for listening.
So, thank you very much for listening.
Yeah. You got this far?
And we may talk another time, who knows.
We'll probably do another one at some
But yeah,
point.
we hope you've gotten something from this.
Definitely.
So, bye!
Bye!